Hey guys, it's Nadine and I'm back again to share with you guys another aspect of my bullet journal planner that I thought maybe some of you might find interesting. This is what I call my moon and mood tracker. I've been doing this since February. I came up with this because a while ago I had a girlfriend, her name was Kehao, and basically showed me this chart like I think it was like 2 years ago maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, she was really ahead of the time. We are no longer friends. I don't know what the heck happened. I met her online and then we kind of just faded out for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I always thought she was a great person and I don't know what happened. I kind of miss her a lot because we did have a lot in common. Maybe she's got a lot going on in her life. Whatever the case may be, I wish her the best. Did get this idea from her. But it wasn't that she had it in her planner. It was she was keeping track of something else and I can't remember exactly what it was, but she used this for a whole nother idea or whole nother purpose. After purging some old paperwork in my office, I found the printout and I was like, hey, you know what? And I thought, let me track my moods during different moon phases because my horoscope is a Cancer and I am ruled by the moon, and I know when different stages of the moon happen, I have different behaviors and I wanted to see how that affects me every single month. And as you will see as we go through my moon and mood trackers, that I have different iterations of this and it's kind of grown to a whole nother monster because I wanted to figure out some other things and how they corresponded to me. So not only did I end up tracking myself and my moods, but also my husband and I, our relationship as well. This is my moon and mood tracker. This is what it looks like. And basically what I have here is a circle because you guys know I love circles. I've mentioned it before. I have the date and the day. Then I have the moon cycles for every single day. I also have different things jotted down above that. So I also keep track of Hawaiian lunar phases as well because there are things that happen that I believe that Hawaiians have said, which I know to be true, that there are certain times of the lunar phase that is good for different things. For instance, let me give you an example, and I will link for their actual Hawaiian lunar calendar in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. It has a website and it's really, really interesting. So they believe during certain times of the moon phases, certain plants were better to plant than others, or there are certain times where harvesting was better during a certain moon phase than others. They also believe that there was times when you shouldn't go out of the house because of superstition, or there are times when no matter what you did, it was always going to end up to be unproductive. So I have that here, in fact, and it's called the ole phase, which means no, don't do it, unproductive. Ole, non kind of thing, non-productive phase. So this is the moon and mood tracker so according to the Hawaiian lunar calendar, they believe that between the 5th and the 9th, it was the ole phase, which means this is the most unproductive time. So try not to do anything because it probably won't work out anyways, and it's just going to lead to you to get frustrated. And so what I do is during this unproductive phase, I don't really plan on any major projects or any kind of thing I want to tackle. I just use this time to just chill, relax, reflect, and plan. I don't set myself up for failure. So in April, there was also another ole phase, and they believed it was the 19th to the 22nd. So again, an unproductive phase, time to rest, relax, plan, and reflect. And then as you can see, I have different colors in here. So the colors correspond to different moods that I feel throughout the month. So I have happy, I'm chill, sad, angry, irritated, content, productive, exhausted, overwhelmed, and restless. I feel like in April, if I'm looking at this at a quick glance, which is why I love it so much, majority of the time I was happy. There were times when I was exhausted, and you can see that. Most of the time I was chill and happy though. So that's a pretty good month, I feel like, and I actually was productive a lot as well, so you can see that by the green. Now sometimes on certain days you'll see that I have two colors. It's because I started off the day restless, and maybe I got a little bit more productive as the day went on. Or like here, I got up and I was very chill, and then I just went into overdrive because I had this extra energy. So this is, a month at a glance. I can see how things went. Now when I did this in April, I only focus on myself, but as we go along, you're going to see that my focus changes. And I start to do different things. So now let's take a look at my July. Now I've done a moon and moon calendar for every single month since February, and I'm going to show you guys different iterations of it and how it's actually expanded and grown and changed a little bit. So this is July. This is what my July looked like. July was a great month, and because you know why? Because it was my birthday. So not only do I track the non-productive phases, but I also started to track waxing, waning, crescents, and gibbous. The reason I did so is because each moon phase, each cycle of the moon phase brings different things or allows you to do different things with a little bit more success than others. So let me explain that to you. Let's start off with my side right here. Okay, so this is my sidebar, and in this sidebar there are different moon phases, and I'll go over them really quickly. So we talk about the new moon. New moon is a great time to plant the seeds. If you have an idea or something that you want to work on, the new moon is when you should actually put it out there. And that's what I do. Every new moon, I have a little ritual that I do at home where I write down what I have planned for the new moon phase, and I kind of put it out there into the universe. Hey, universe, this is what I want to work on, and this is what I want to be successful in for this moon phase. So it's called the planting seed time, okay? After the new moon comes the waxing crescent. Okay, so now let's look at my lunar calendar. Let's find the new moon here. So the new moon was on the 24th. Let's see that, and I have it here, new moon. And then after the new moon comes the waxing crescent phase, okay? And that's when your seed that you planted in the new moon starts to grow. So the growing phase, yeah? And it's when it finds inspiration. So imagine a seed that you plant and it's kind of germinating is what I like to call it. And that's what's happening after the new moon, in between the new moon and the first moon in this waxing crescent phase. Then comes the first quarter. So the first quarter is when whatever you planted starts to sprout. So the little sapling starts to come out. And then in the first quarter is the waxing gibbous. And during that time, it's a great time to take creative action. So whatever it is that you planted, this is the time to make it happen for yourself, or do all the prep work so that you can get the best outcome. And then after the first quarter and then the waxing gibbous phase comes the full moon, and you can see I have it here. Now if you look at my thing, you can see that every single moon has the exact specific view of what the moon would like on this specific day. So then comes the full moon, and the full moon is when your idea that you planted or the seed that you planted blooms. So here in July, it was the 9th. And then after the full moon comes the waning gibbous. Waning gibbous is when whatever you planted starts to bear fruit. After the full moon comes the last quarter, and it goes into the waning crescent phase, and this is the transformation part. The waning crescent part is when you release what no longer suits you. You start to rest, you start to reflect, and you get ready for the next cycle again, which starts again at the new moon. So again, I kept with the same thing where I have a key here, I have the different moods that I feel, and also the corresponding colors that I use. But now I added another element as well, and I started to keep track of when my hubby and I were in sync, because sometimes in the month we are not in sync, and I want to know why that is. I'm always interested on learning and self-improvement, and so to me, I wanted to look at this and think, okay, most of the time we're connected, and most of the time in July I was very productive and very happy, as you can see by the green and yellow. And then there were days when I felt out of sorts with the brown right here. And then you can see that my hubby and I are not really in sync. And it's because I was feeling out of sorts. So you can kind of tell how, like, interesting keeping track of your own moods helps. It kind of shows you, hey, you know what, during this time I felt like this, and this is why, this is what was going on and whatnot. So then I have September, and as you can see, this is where I'm actually videoing this video. I have done this since February, and I found it to be so stinking interesting. I really love it. I kept up with the same format with my sidebars, my keys here, a reminder of what every single moon phase means. I know now, so that I don't have to write it, the different moon phases. I do keep track of the new moon, first quarter, full moon, and the third quarter, but I do know what lunar phases happens then, what moon phases happens then, so I don't really need to write it down anymore. And as you can see, I've been like, it's been very, very helpful. Now here's the thing. In the past, I've used either this or this to go ahead and make my circles, and it's been, you know, it's good. However, it can be cumbersome to continually do this. It's very time consuming. So in September, what I did, because I'm always trying to figure out how to save time, and most of it is because I'm lazy AF, I designed a sticker, and I have these to share with you guys. Basically, it's either 30 or 31 day stickers that looks like a circle. All you do is peel them off, cut them, peel them off, and put them in your planner. And then you can go ahead and keep track of the lunar phase yourself. I will also link below for not only a place to get these stickers from my blog, but also where you can find the actual lunar calendar to keep track so that you can mark them like I do here, in the description box below. Feel free to use whatever colors you want. Feel free to keep track of whatever you want. I find this to be very helpful for my own personal thing. If this is not your jam, I totally get it, but I love it, and I just thought I would share this with you guys. So if you found this video helpful and liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified whenever a new video goes up, which another one will be up tomorrow in my bullet journal planner series. So thank you so much for watching my video. I will talk to you guys later. TTFN, ta-ta for now.